After the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Abangbagbe did Babontin on Thursday, 30th January 2025, said was suspended 4 members of Parliament. I'm 3 year NPP members of Parliament. Now, 1 year National Democratic Congress member of Parliament. The minority side, Ababekasa, almost say the suspension of 3 of their members by Speaker of Parliament Abangbagbe from the Parliament House, normally in Yadring. Almost say in their standing order, and I say, Mramudi do me Parliament House. Emu be biara new the Speaker of Parliament between suspended members of Parliament. By Ghana Constitution crampona, he should have given the members of Parliament fair hearing and son as well suspend them or suspend them. But without giving them any fair hearing, now I was suspended for 2 weeks. Now I say table sino mkonyana microphone say womre mintibi wanse ba na mpo ebubu ye no o metie fi sa members of Parliament 4 aketu no mo na nyadwe no mu no say the Speaker of Parliament Abangbagbe ya bias because why would he in the first place trample suspend 3 members of Parliament of New Patriotic Party now suspend only 1 member of Parliament for National Democratic Congress e hono so won tias and almost say in the decision to impose suspend the 3 members of Parliament on the minority side no there are so many discrepancies and Allah is a kuku dam ni bi so ababonti abeka say near the Speaker of Parliament here no etiamra so the minority side as you hwe say the Speaker of Parliament back call the 3 members of Parliament on their side that was suspended back to the Parliament because someone in Nyading. We are just waiting to know the further step the leadership of the minority side will take if the Speaker of Parliament Abangbagbe and call back the 3 members of Parliament that was suspended on the minority side. As at now, the majority side then can for the suspension of a member of Parliament. I also hear the majority chief whip. Only on my because almost say the Speaker of Parliament caught this tangent, a bit autocratic as a power drunk. Now, we'll be making some decisions and sure democracy will be in danger. Young kind of minority side leadership can far by the suspension of their 3 members of Parliament. Honorable Frank Anodom the member of Parliament for Nsawa Doeje constituency, Jerry Ahmed Shaibu, the member of Parliament for Wija Ipawu. As I don't know, Alasan Tampuli Suleiman, the member of Parliament for Kushegu, representing New Patriotic Party at the Parliament House. Press statement: raise suspension of 3 members of Parliament in the minority caucus. 31st January 2025. 1. The decision by the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Aban S.K. Gbagbo, on Friday, 31st January 2025, to suspend 3 distinguished members of Parliament of the New Patriotic Party, Honourable Frank Anodom Nsawa Doeje, Honourable Alasan Suleiman Tampulu Kushegu, and Honourable Jerry Ahmed Shaibu Wejagbawe, is an unfortunate overreach of parliamentary authority, a blatant display of selective justice, and an attack on the democratic principles that underpin our legislative process. 2. The event that transpired during the vetting of ministerial nominees were born out of deep-seated frustrations regarding the conduct of proceedings, the disregard for the due process, and the majority attempt to railroad decisions without consensus building. Parliament, by its very nature, is a forum for robust debate and passionate deliberation. The unfortunate incident that led to minor property damage was not a planned disruption by a manifestation of the growing tensions caused by the majority and their members and the failure of the chairman of the appointment committee to exercise impartiality. 3. The Speaker's decision to unilaterally suspend these 3 MPs without due process in accordance with provisions enshrined in Standing Orders 130A and B without an opportunity for them to be heard under Article 19 Clause 1 of the Constitution and without first exhausting internal disciplinary mechanisms set a dangerous precedent. It signals an era where the Speaker can arbitrarily punish members of Parliament based on perceived disobedience rather than adherence to parliamentary rules and fairness. 4. The Speaker himself has on numerous occasions presided over a Parliament where similar or worse incidents occurred, yet no such punitive measures were taken. The refusal to apply the same standard in previous instances made this decision appear politically motivated, aimed at intimidating certain members of Parliament and silencing dissents. 5. It is important to recall that during previous parliamentary chaos, particularly during the controversial 2021 speakership election, at the public hearing on the nomination for promotion of 2 Supreme Court judges on the 30th July 2024, and the brawl in Parliament over e-levy where a member of the NDC physically assaulted a member of the majority caucus of the 8th Parliament, the Speaker adopted a reconciliatory approach at all instances. Why then does he choose at this moment to impose harsh and selective punishment? This inconsistency undermines his credibility as a neutral arbiter and exposes a warring bias that must be called out. 6. Furthermore, the speaker's approach disregards the fact that Parliament is a house of debate, sometimes heated, and members have a duty to ensure that due process is followed. The speaker's role is to facilitate dialogue and order, not to punish lawmakers for standing their ground in the face of procedural unfairness. We categorically reject the suspension of these 3 MPs and demand an immediate reversal of this politically charged decision. If this unjustifiable action is not addressed, it will set a precedent where the speaker becomes an unchecked authority, weaponizing disciplinary measures against those who do not align with his preferred political narratives. Parliament must remain a bastion of democracy, not an institution of oppression. The Ghanaian people deserve a parliament where all voices are heard, not one where members are punished for their commitment to due process and accountability. Democracy thrives on fairness and justice, and we will not sit idle while our parliamentary democracy is undermined by selective applications of rules. And official press statement at the minority side of parliament, that's NPP for the Ababontin, concerning the suspension of 3 of their members because of the chaos that happened on 30th January 2025. Especially point 5 no I want us to emphasize on, though according to lawyers I'm being say on to me for to me as suspend members of parliament, he need to give them fair hearing. But to come and say because of say 8th parliament it didn't one suspend and as one punish harshly say and say 9th parliament and so no the same thing as near pro so crampa or suspend no we are always learning. And for some time now we share some of the behaviors are our members of parliament represent various constituencies in the media. In fact, it doesn't speak well of them. More share mrana as I said, young citizens here dim mrana so. Now that this kind of subanye dia, what do you expect a citizen to do? Though Abangbagbe is harsh, but I think say it is right. Send there quite see minority side or chinabi majority into ya Ghanaians in Nara, but say obey the same thing to them. So it's a precedent he is setting, which is somehow unfair to the minority side. But they shouldn't complain much. If the input thing say what he did, no, he doesn't have the legal right to do that. They can sue him. Now, only interpretation from the Supreme Court. So personally, I think say one, the Speaker of Parliament act harshly, but minority side also in their press statement to say in the 8th Parliament, some of the members of Parliament then time in the minority side ye name be and so all the same thing to them why yenti. This 9th Parliament, I own so mumuni pabin so I be sana. And say or punish your mind, no what do you think about the press statement from the minority side of the parliament concerning the suspension of 3 of their members? Do you both think say the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Abangbagbe, is being autocratic? Chirwaju in the comment section or chirwaju no will boom now, you best say subscribe to channel, means like comment and share video more for you.